Welcome to Trill V. Today we have a special guest. Can you introduce yourself and let everyone know what you do?
My name's Trovers. I'm the author of Murray the Milkman children's books and managing director of Readerware Publishing Company.
Can you tell us a little bit more about Murray the Milkman?
It's a children's book with multicultural, the same for multicultural backgrounds with a black-led character. Murray the Milkman, he lives in a village, tip-top village near London, and he's going around promoting good vibes amongst the villagers in his community.
Can I ask what made you decide to make a black-led character?
See, when we started, there wasn't enough black-led books out there. So we started, our first books was published in 2007. And when we started, there just wasn't enough books. My colleague at the time we started doing the books with, he had a daughter and he just could never find books that was suitable for her, that she could relate to. So he would go around purchasing books and colouring in the pictures for it to relate, so she can see herself in books. So from there, I just graduated university and he was a budding writer, but just couldn't get the opportunity. And then off the back of that, that's where we thought, put both of our skills together and then just try to come up with Murray the Milkman, and that's where he developed from.
Right, I see. So in terms of Murray the Milkman, is it an educational book? What type of character is he?
He's just your everyday person, black character, what would you see out on the streets. You might not see him as a milkman outside every day, but he's just an everyday person. He goes around the village promoting good positive messages, from not to be afraid, to keep a healthy living, and also just to learn new stuff every day.
So your book promotes teaching and it's educational learning.
And just allowing the readers and the parents as well, the children, the parents, schools, whoever reads the book, just to be able to relate to the book. Children can see themselves in the book. Parents and friends of readers of the book can also just relate to storylines. So although they're all educational, as mentioned, from teaching milk, where milk comes from, the alternative to cow's milk, because everyone nowadays is conscious of what's around them.
Yeah, health conscious, yeah.
Very much so. And we are promoting that in order to show children and parents that milk comes from not only the cow. You've also got other titles to promote healthy living. Characters within the book with their own job skills, also teaching. So we've got farmers showing books, flowers, different types of flowers there are available. What happens when you grow seeds? When you grow from the seeds, grows into a flower.
Can I ask what difficulties and challenges you found when you was developing your books?
Loads, to be fair, because it's self-published. So it was from the finance side to the researching side of the stories, what is out there, to making sure it accommodates our target audience.
And who's the target audience?
Target audience are parents and children. So what we're trying to promote is the children and the parents and the child to sit down together and spend 5 to 30 minutes reading together. From the children, listening to the parents, if they're reading to them, if they're too young, be able to pick on the tones from the parents when they're explaining characters' voices or certain excitement parts of the story. And the children can not just see the pictures and relate to it, but they can also hear the excitement coming from their parents or the reader, the guardian of the book. We would say it's aimed at age 4 to 8 years old. But as I said, we don't really want to just pinpoint it to one age group, because there's people who are older, especially we found out over time, who are older than us, and they're also learning from reading the books.
You touched on, finance being quite difficult. How did you manage to fund it and create the book and get to where you are now?
Savings. Put down something. I'm working at the same time, so from there. And also I would try and just create something in order to generate some quick money. So for example, I'll do websites. So off the back of that will go towards my final project.
So how did you feel when your first book was complete?
Felt very relieved. I'm very proud of ourselves. And with our restraints, like from the budget, time commitment of outside commitments, felt very, very proud of ourselves.
And what was the reception like of your first couple of books? I mean, how was it received?
The first season of the series, when we started in 2007, there was a handful. It wasn't really received as much because people was saying there's not enough milkmen. Why is there a black milkman? Why isn't there a lawyer, a doctor? But my answer to that is, and I still stand by it, 10 years on, we start somewhere. Yeah. So we have to grow within ourselves and then move on. For example, my first job was a paper round. So we have to move on, and now I'm writing books and running my own company.
All right, so is there, I guess, progression for the character Murray to move into other professions, or?
You know, it's just, yes, in a nutshell. And also, there should be progressions within ourselves, or no matter what we do. So it's the same with the character. This child will see a milkman and say, I don't want to be a milkman, but you can be whatever you want, but you have to start somewhere.
So there's a lot of messages within the educational theme.
Definitely so. Educational, we're learning. That's the educational factor. So it's not what's being said in schools all the time, it's just what we're learning every day.
So you see, when you said people had objections about his profession, who was telling you that? What audience was it?
Potential buyers, investors as well. When we went to like an investment angel program, and we were told you don't have black milkmen anymore. It's not hitting the market. It's not aiming at the Caucasian market. And that was the bit when we thought, so what's the point of doing it? We're doing it to do for our black market, have a black-led character, but also include everyone else, as I said, just like outside. We have our own community, which is a village, a home, people you're around, and it's always going to be of different cultures.
So despite all of that, you still continued?
Yeah, definitely so, because as I said, there was still a hole, there was still a gap in the market within the UK. As time went on, we started to see more black ethnic books, multicultural books being around the market at the moment, but we still don't feel it was having that real life, so people can just relate to a lot to what they see themselves, especially children. Children are impressionable, but they need to see every day what they see around.
So what is the sort of impact you want Murray the Milkman to have on the audience that you're aiming for and the black community in general?
So yes, the characters within the book are targeting at all multicultural. So we've got the black character from Murray the Milkman, Farmer Gribble, to the Asian character, Dr. Singh, Eastern European, the baker, Bernard the Baker, Turkish Cypriot background, butcher, and you've got an English teacher as well. So we're aiming to target all multicultural backgrounds.
Why do you feel it was important to do this? Just to be more inclusive? And
this is how we're living today.
Yeah.
We have cultures, different cultures around us, from next door neighbours to friends to family, immediate family friends. So we just try to include as much as we can, because we're in London. The characters are not, the village is near London, and also we're just trying to just keep it relatable to everyday life.
Thanks for coming in to Trill V today for the interview. It was great to meet you. Great book. Can you please let everybody know where they can purchase Murray the Milkman?
You can purchase the books from readaware.com and also on Amazon.com and a few independent stores in West London and South London.
Everybody subscribe to Trill V for more interviews and more latest news.